You wonder how the a train engine of that magnitude can pull that many trailers behind it. Those are two engines, as you can see. That's one. This is the other. Look at how many tons each one of these trailers have. About 200 tons of gravel. That is a stone trail. You go to the end here, it can go up to 300 trailers being towed by two engines. You imagine how heavy the load is. Try to figure out what kind of power that can pull 300. We counted those. We counted them 1, 2, 3, 4. We kept counting until we got to 300 trailers. Each one of those has 200 tons of gravel. 200 tons of gravel. Each one of those like about 5 trucks. A truck is 40 tons. So you have 5 trucks here, 5 trucks here. Multiply 5 semi times 300. That is 1,500 semi tractor trailer on a single train. On a single train. How does it happen? How does the train have that much power to pull that much load? Let us go from the beginning. First thing you need to identify, this is the nose or the front of the train. How do you know it is the front? You look at here, you're going to see the letter F right here. So when the engineer walked in, climbed the stairs, you look at this letter F, he knows he is going to get to the operation, the cabin. Now, if you go, that is a law. I think that is a law by the government. You have to have a letter F. It means to the front. That is just an identification, has a historical background. Let us just go to through the other train. We now go slowly. This is, if you climb from here, you don't have a letter F here. So this is the back of the train, not the front. If you climb from here, you don't have an F here. You don't have an F here. It is not the front. You have to have an F. There got to be some reason for it. Maybe at night you want to know whether you are in the front or in the back. But if you are tired, now if you climb from here, there is the letter F here that tells you in this area, it tells you this is the front of the train, the engine. Now we took care of that, how to identify a train. Let us now go to the next step. How does the train get fuel? Here is the fuel tank. This is not fuel tank, this is air tanks. Those are air tanks that are brake air tanks. This is the bottom one is the fuel tank. This is from here to here. This is the fuel tank. That takes 20,000 gallons of diesel. That is gallons in this tank. How does it get the fuel? It doesn't go to a gas station. What happens? The tanker will come stop and the gravel right here in this place. And you are going to have a tank this way, and another, each tank of those is about 220,000 gallons. This is the tanker that is going to stop to the side of the train, and he's going to get the hoses and fill the tank. He will put 20,000 gallons fuel in this train, and then it is going to drive forward to the other train. That is the second train. It will stop here and This is a tank from the other train. The tanker will stop on the side and fuel that train with another 20,000 gallons. Take care of how to find your front by the letter F, how to fuel the train, and that is your horn here on the tank. Let us now go to the purpose of the train. How does the train do that amazing function of producing power? Let us go to the beginning of the train. This is a modern design. You have a wheel here, an axle, another axle here, and another axle here. And then you have 3 axles here. That's 1, that is 2, and another one is headed to the side. Each one of these axles, if you look carefully, in the bottom here you have a traction motor in the bottom around the axle. Traction motor, the traction motor, the traction motor, and 3 more here. Those are the motors. These are electric motors. Well, how do you get electric motors here when you are using diesel fuel? That is how the diesel train were converted from the steam engine to the diesel when the diesel was discovered. So the train is composed of, right here you have a diesel engine. This is fuel engine. It takes the fuel from here to create it. That is the diesel engine. That is a combustion engine. That combustion engine spins to produce kinetic energy. Then here you have an electric dynamo or a generator. Right here. This is a magnetic. It has a magnet, a huge magnet, and it has a rotor inside. It takes the kinetic energy or the rotation from the diesel. This is the electric generator. That electric generator generates electricity. The electricity will supply these motors with a cable that goes under. I will show you right here. Another cable will come here, right here, right here, right here. This is electric cable, a very thick cable from the frame of the train goes under to supply the electric motors. So you have a diesel engine using diesel, petroleum to generate kinetic energy. The kinetic energy rotates the rotor of a generator or a dynamo or a dynamo. The generator is a magnetic, has a permanent magnet that converts the kinetic energy into electric energy. Why do you do all that? Because the engineer that sits here does not use transmission like a car. He uses a resistor to change the speed. The more resistors he uses, the less current is supplied to the motor. So he can adjust the speed of the train by changing the electric resistance along these wires. That way you get rid of the massive problem of transmission. You don't have a mechanical transmission, you have an electric transmission. That is the genius of the modern train. It is a hybrid between petroleum fuel, generating kinetic energy, generating electric energy in the magnet. The electric energy is regulated by resistors. The resistors rotate the motor runs the train. You ask yourself, that is a good idea? Well, of course it's a good idea. Here you distributed the weight. You put the weight at each wheel. When you distribute the weight, you have a very good way of getting rid of the heat. Because all these loads, all this massive load of the train, when the wheels spin, it will create heat. The heat can burn the whole thing. How do you get rid of the heat? You get rid of the heat around each wheel here. You have a lead cylinder. That lead cylinder is used like oil in a tight chamber that lubricates the motion of the wheel axle around the fixed axle of the train you have 6 axles here. So how many lead cylinders do you have? You have 6 on this side and 6 on the other side. Because the lead is a metal and you keep it in a very tight compartment so it doesn't evaporate like oil. You cannot lubricate the train by oil. You lubricate the train by lead, metal lead. So now we took care of the fueling, we took care of the lubrication, we need to take care of the friction. How does that engine, 2 engine, can pull up to 300 trailers? Each container has 200 tons. Imagine 200 tons multiplied by 300 trailers. That is 60,000 tons, metric tons. A ton is 1,000 kilograms. That's tons. How do you do that? You need a lot of friction because you have 6 wheels here on this side, 6 wheels on the other side, and you have another engine that has another 12 wheels. You have 24 wheels generating heat here on the rails. Because of Newton's law or the friction law, the force that you pull forward with, let me get another color and another thickness. The force that pulls you forward, that is the force. It's equal to the force of friction. The force of pull have to be equal to the force of the friction. Because you generate friction, the friction generates heat. Can the heat melt the rail? The rail is so thick, and the contact between the wheels and the rail is very small, so it allows for heat dissipation. Let us now see how can you do that pulling. You move forward. You have that train coupled by that train. That coupler was invented about over 100 years ago, and you have between each train can have an air compressor. The air compressor generates air. The air runs the brakes on each one of these wheels. What we call it air brakes, and the compressor runs the air to each one of these brakes, brake cylinders. Then it has cables here, air cables. It's connected to the next train, and it goes on between all the 300 containers. So now you don't see here the air tanks because they are covered by that shield, but we saw them from the first train. So each one of these engine have air compressor. The air compressor goes in the hoses, goes to this trailer and the next trailer and so on. It controls the brakes of each container. Now let us look at the large scheme. The large scheme, you have air hoses going under, 2 of them. One to deactivate emergency the brakes, and one is a surface brake. So you have 2 air hoses going between from one trailer to other, from one trailer to other, from one trailer to other, all the way to the end. That is one hose that is going to compress the springs, what you call it emergency brake. And you have another hose that is a blue hose that's controlled by the engineer when he steps on the brakes. He doesn't step with his foot. He has a handle. He uses handle brake with his hand because he is not steering the train. So he doesn't have to use his foot to operate the train. The brakes are in the hand, and the control of the speed by register by the hand, and he uses his foot only for the horn. That is the difference between a train and a bus or a car. So that is now how the whole thing looks like. Let us start from the very beginning and run it. We took a picture for this train during the fueling process. We are here in New Mexico at Amarillo, and we stopped. If you see here, I stopped my truck to the side, and I watched the tanker coming to fuel these trains. I was always asking, curious, how do this train get the fuel? The tanker will go to the side, drive on the gravel, stop the next to the train, fuel these trains with diesel, go to the next train, fuel the next train, and here, how do the engineers go home? They bring the cars at certain spots, and they switch. They don't have a bumping spot. You can just switch anywhere on the road. They have an arrangement of how to get the engineer to the train. And that is graphic. That's a huge train that takes, we counted, 300 containers are pulled by these two engines. You cannot put 300 by two engines. So you have to have two engines in the back or in the middle. Two of them will go forward and the other two will push, so to get the weight moving. Of course, another thing you notice here, that the container has only two wheels. That's one wheel here and one wheel here and one wheel on the other side and one other wheel on the other side. So the trailer or the container has only two axles on this side and two axles on the other. That's four axles. That is about 8 wheels. But the train engine has 3 here and 3 here. That is 6 multiplied by 2. So the train has 12 wheels in total, while the trailer has 8 wheels in total. Of course, the train have to be heavier. Does it have to be heavier than the trailers? I think the weight doesn't matter because you have a rotational motion here. What matters here is the power, that you have to be able to rotate the 12 wheels. But of course, all these trailers by common sense are heavier than the trains, the engines. The reason that you can pull the 200, the 60,000 tons by two engines. Each one of these engines doesn't weigh that much. How do you pull them is because you are using the rotational energy or rotational motion. So the rotation, if you can move these wheels, you can move that entire load as long as it rotates. Because of that, you generate enormous heat at every axle and you have to use lead to lubricate them. Because you cannot pull that much weight at very high speed, you have to start very slowly until the entire load starts moving, then gradually increase the speed.